Well, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to work on getting better at playing Lugia Archeops. Ever since it's come out, Lugia Archeops has been a terrific deck, one of the top decks. It still is now, but quite frankly, it's been a deck that I've kind of struggled with. I think it's a deck where it doesn't match my play style, so I've kind of stayed away from it. And obviously the way it's built right now is going to rotate in about a week from now, from when I'm recording it, with Scarlet and Violet, because losing the Radiant Pokemon that are such a key part of it, some of the special energies such as Powerful Energy, Capture Energy, Aurora Energy that are essential to this deck working, they're rotating also. So I could just kind of ignore Lugia Archeops as it is now and just try it again after rotation. But you know what? It's a good deck. And to be a better player, I want to put some time in now to get better at the deck. Now, the concept of the deck's fairly straightforward. You use Lugia's Summoning Star V-Star power to get 2 Archeops into play. That's the goal. Then you have you accelerate the special energies as to what you want. The deck plays a couple of Radiant Pokemon, pretty common to a lot of these builds. Yveltal, which can knock out anything. Raikou, which is a lightning type, so which can then help take out lightning weak Pokemon, such as Lugia, for example. And it does 120 to a bench Pokemon also, so it could take out 2 weaker Pokemon also, like in a Lost Zone matchup or something. And then Radiant Charizard for, late in the game for potentially just 1 energy, does 250 damage. That's great. Lugia's attack is obviously pretty solid itself. Lumineon, which is Luminous Sign, which draws you searches for a supporter from your deck on play, which is terrific to help get set up. But the attack is also useful in the game too. Aqua Return does 120 damage, which can knock out some of the weaker, some of the single prize Pokemon out there, like in a Lost Zone deck. And then you shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it back into your deck. So that's the Lumineon goes back in your deck. You can draw it again future turns to utilize its ability, plus the energies which are attached to it go back in the deck too, so then you can accelerate those to a different Pokemon the next turn with Archeops. Keeping that stream of energies is really important for the deck. That's one of the difficulties which I find sometimes is if you go too hard early, I've run out of energy at times. So you need to be aggressive to set up, but if you discard too many energies, you get in trouble. And I think finding that balance I have struggled with. The deck also plays Stoutland V to help against some of the basic Pokemon out there. Again, Lost Zone would be one of the things that has it. Now, this is a deck list based on what Tord played in his most recent tournament where he came in 4th. He also used it at the International Sao Paulo, which he won, I think, the end in December, I think it was, of 2022. This deck list is a little different than that, and actually, quite frankly, a more streamlined deck list, which is partly why I like it. It plays thick lines of things. It's dropped a lot, especially the trainers. There's no trainers that are 1 of 2ofs. It's only 3 or 4, so I'll talk about that in a minute. And it's streamlined so that this Tord likes decks that are consistent, and this deck is kind of as consistent as you can get for a Lugia deck. So I'm hoping it will help improve my gameplay even more. He plays 2 Lumineon, which is a plus, and the other deck played a Raikou, which this deck plays Raikou. The old deck did not play Raikou, but obviously this is here now to help in the mirror and some of the other matches. So he's added that in. The energies, he plays 17 at special energies, so that's a high count relative to some decks, which again helps with it setting up. With this build, he's added in 2 more special energies than before. He's added in a Heat Energy and a Speed Lightning Energy. Obviously, the Speed Lightning makes sense now that he has the Raikou. The Lightning Energy and the Heat Fire Energy helps set up your Radiant Charizard, because you only have the 4 Aurora energies, the 1 lightning, the 1 dark, the 1 fire for the Pokemon that take anything other than colorless energy for the attack cost. So using those properly I know is important too, and I've got to get the hang of that. And then the trainers for this deck, the way he's built it now, is super simple. It plays 3 Marnie, 3 Boss, and then 4 of everything else. So it's very streamlined. 4 Research, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Incense. So before he played a couple Serena in, now he's dropped those, just going with Boss, just making it more straightforward. Obviously against single prize opponents, the Boss is key there. He played 1 Lost Vacuum before, which obviously is a useful card, but by getting rid of that. You would get it as a one of. You don't have consistent access to it when you need it. He played 2 Choice Belt before, 1 Collapse Stadium before. Those cards are gone as he's just maximized the consistency for this deck. So I want to try out this deck and try to improve my gameplay with Lugia. So, it's rotating a week. Like I said, I could just give up on the deck, but I want to get better at this deck. Even though it won't help me that much in the long term, just improving my gameplay will certainly, I'll be a better player in the long run, right? Because I'm not a competitive player as such, but I'm somewhere between a casual player and a competitive player. I like to play a variety of decks. Obviously, playing is to have fun first, but when I play the game, I want to maximize my decision making. When I'm putting together a deck list, I want to put together the best deck list possible. Not a great starting hand, because right now I don't have a way to discard the Archeops. Starting Lugia, which is good. I have a Capture Energy to get something else in play. Obviously, that Capture Energy doesn't get me Lumineon V. I mean, it does. I could put it into play, but I can't. What do I do here? But obviously, I can't use the ability of it. So I'm going to attach to the active because I probably don't get knocked out, and I can use the attack next turn to discard something. All right, I will get down an Oranguru, hoping to get something to help me in the future. So I will put back the Powerful Energy because I don't need that this turn. And if I get Marnied, not having that in hand, I don't mind that. So let's see what I get. I got an Aurora. Okay, unfortunately, I already attached, which I needed to do to get the Oranguru, so I'll just bench my other Lugia and end turn. Obviously, I have Aurora Energy, which allows me to discard the Archeops, which is good, although right now I don't have access to the V-Star. I don't have a way to access another Archeops. So we'll see what I top deck. I wouldn't mind getting Marnied, which didn't happen. So we'll see what happens. I could boss something up, but I think I'll leave him in the active. So I will put back the Powerful Energy, keep the Aurora Energy, because if I am fortunate, because I want to use the Aurora Energy to discard the Archeops. But let's see what I top deck. So research, so that's quite nice. So I'm going to research, but I will attach the Aurora Energy. I could attach the Aurora Energy to the Charizard. That's an option too, right? So let me do that because it's more useful on the Radiant Charizard. I can attack. To attack with Lugia, I've got to get my Archeops up and active. Now I need 2 Archeops, so I might not be able to attack this turn for damage because of what I just did there. And I can't get the V-Star anyway, so this is not great, quite frankly. All right, I'm going to get rid of research because I can't research this hand away next turn. I might get Marnied anyway. So obviously I need these energies to get back in the deck, right? I don't want to discard all those special energies. I need to get them attached, so I will. Now, this deck doesn't play V-Guard Energy, which could be useful, obviously, to reduce damage by other V Pokemon. But it's just a streamlined deck, keeping things thick lines, 4 Capture, 4 Powerful, 4 Aurora, which you want 2 DTEs. No twins. Twin could be useful on something like Radiant Charizard or Yveltal. Radiant Charizard, Yveltal DTE is just as good on that. But the twin energies don't really help the Lugia so much. So therefore, DTEs add to the consistency. So my opponent's going to attack, and I don't believe, what do they do? Around 100 damage right now, I think. 90, so they're doing 100 at the moment. So what's Espeon do? I am not entirely familiar with that one. So 100, that's okay. What do I want to do here? I think So do I want to Oranguru something? I think I do. No, I'm going to Oranguru after. So I'm going to attach my DTE. Tell you what, I'm going to Primate Wisdom the Quick Ball. That way, if I hit an Archeops, I could discard it. Because I'm going to Marnie. You know, if I played this the best, well, that worked out quite nicely, right? So whether I played it really smartly or just got lucky, I don't know. But either way, I take it. So what I want to do, I'm going to want to Yveltal at some point, probably, right? I don't think I want to bench him. I want to attack with, I guess I attack with the active, right? They'll knock me out next turn, most likely. But maybe I throw down the Yveltal. I'm trying to think that through, too, as I do this. Because obviously I need to keep my game. Oh, I don't bench anything because my bench is full. So I put, right now what do? I do 200. So I'll just put 1 energy on the active. I wasn't going to one-shot him anyway, so that's perfectly fine. So I'll toss on a Capture there. So I can attack. Now, I tend to just toss down the Captures as a generic energy. That might be a mistake. I think I want to power up my other Yveltal. I mean, my other Lugia, sorry. I will attach 2 Powerful Energy there. Obviously, Radiant Charizard could use those too, potentially. So, all right. So I will attack. We'll see what happens here. If I get knocked out, I need 2 more energies on Radiant Charizard to attack with him. And maybe that's the play. I could attach a DTE, which I believe I have in deck, and he will take the knockout down. 20 less, but that's it's 250, right? Minus 20. So it gets down to 230, which is plenty for the knockout. That gives up 1 prize. At that point, my opponent will knock out my Yveltal, so we will be even in prizes. They played the old cemetery. I don't play any stadiums. I do play Pumpkaboo to bump a stadium, but I don't want to fill up a bench space just to save the 20 damage. And the nice thing is most of my energy attachments are not from hand, which is what the stadium is only when it's played from hand, but I'm mostly accelerating energies from the deck. All right, well, that kind of stinks there, so I need to get rid of Oranguru. What do I get rid of here? I guess I get rid of Lugia. That hurts, but I think, yeah, that's okay. I could... No, I don't really have switching cards as such. Okay, well, that is unfortunate. That's a good play by my opponent. So I don't have knockout. Now I have access to boss, though, so I probably want to make this play. I will put down the Yveltal also, start getting him set up because he can one-shot whatever I want. So he needs... So I need a... So I need a boss, right? So let me grab the boss first. I will take a look at the energies just to make sure I have what I need here. I have the DTE, and I have the special energies and such to set up the Yveltal. So let me do this. So I will boss this guy up. Just need 2 more energies. 120. So I will attach. Don't have it in hand, which is fine, but I will attach my DTE to Charizard, which should... don't attack, I'm just making sure. Good. I will attach, let's see, Aurora and Hiding Dark here. and the fire energies from hand. Take the knockout, and that's okay. 20 damage. I can survive that. Obviously, Path to the Peak shuts off Radiant Charizard. That's something I need to make sure I don't forget when I play this game. So 3 prizes there. Let's see. They don't want to attack. Now, if they attack with Shadow Rider, they might want to gust up the Yveltal, because if they attack into the Charizard, they'll knock him out. But the Yveltal will knock them out for game. So we'll see what they can do here. They're doing what's their, I don't know what their damage level is right now. It's not listing what it is. If they play, okay, so they're not playing Avery again. So I wasn't thinking about Avery the last turn. I mean, they played it and I had to react to it. But you kind of need to fill up the bench. So there, my opponent has given me game. I mean, I guess they don't have game on board because I need to attach my energies, but they should see that is coming, right? So I just need 2 energies, a capture, and I'll toss the powerful on. Doesn't matter. I could have attached the capture from hand, and now I just knock them out. And I believe that works. Yes, so good. So the deck obviously worked very nicely there. So did I max, it was those early turns with getting my Archeops into play, which worked for me. I might want to go look back at the video. Did I really make the right choices? Did I optimize my choices, or did I get a little fortunate? But it worked there. Let me jump in another game here, see what I can do with the deck. See if I can, it's at the point where I know I'm going to lose some games. That always will happen, but I want to make smart plays. Right? I certainly don't want to make dumb plays. And honestly, in the past, I've made a lot of dumb plays with Lugia. I think I get into the situation where I'm overthinking, and then I second guess myself, and I end up just making a boneheaded move. Just kind of trying to think 3 steps ahead sometimes, and then I'm missing out what the immediate step in front of me is. So I'm going to bench Lumineon. It was either that or Pumpkaboo. All right, so what Hisuian, what Zoroark, I believe it is, right? The one that, based on damage on their Pokemon, is a good deck, and they can certainly one-shot any of my Lugia V-Star pretty easily once they set up. So a dangerous deck. It has a lot of power. It is a very strong deck when it sets up. So I do have my single prize Pokemon that I'm going to need to do damage with, right? Because if we're, they can one-shot my V-Star. I'm not sure I don't remember the HP of theirs, so I will find that out soon. So I didn't want to play the Pumpkaboo because, Hisui and Zoroark, I'm not sure if that's what I said or not, but that's what I want to play. Well, this is not good at all. So I'm going to capture, and then the question is, do I want to get down the Lugia V-Star, or do I want to get down an Oranguru, right? Those are the choices, because Oranguru would get me access to some other card, right? I think all right, this is where I'm going to take a Lugia. I have research, right? Figuring I have Marnie. I don't have access to research, though, do I, next turn? All right, I'm going to just, I don't know about that one. That could have been a big mistake, and I'm just going to pass at this point. I'm not sure. I will research my deck away if that's my hand away, if that's what I get. I can access, another Archeops or even 2 Archeops just to thin the deck. And, I'm willing to toss those 2 energies. I like having the special energies, right? Especially these are unique special energies. It makes I have the 4 Aurora, so I can work around it, but I have to be extra careful with it. So we'll see what I get. I just want to look at the art on the barrel. It's a different art than I'm used to seeing. So I like that. You see the barrel in his den, I suppose, or nest. So Gape Jaw Bog, 20 per bench every time I bench a Pokemon. That's going to be okay. I think I will get through that. There is the Radiant Pokemon that moves damage counters, right? 2 of them per turn on mine. So if I have to bench a Pumpkaboo, it can knock it out relatively quickly. So yeah, okay, research, yeah. Okay, they want to get the Gengar in the discard pile anyway. Air balloon attaching obviously was going to get discarded anyway, but it's also useful if I knock out their active Pokemon, which is possible. Right now it's not looking probable, but I need to really... Right now I don't have any way to discard any Pokemon, so that's not good. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. We'll see. I'll probably evolve in Marnie right now, which doesn't make me happy, but that's life. I'm not going to bump their stadium because I don't think that's... I mean, it slows their setup. I could have, right? It slows their setup, but, as they get bench Pokemon with damage on them, bumping their Gape Jaw Bog isn't going to hurt them that much, really. I think getting the Pumpkaboo on the bench, losing a bench slot, and also if they can move damage counters around on me. Maybe they don't play that, I don't remember. But if they can move damage counters around on me, then they can easily knock out my Pumpkaboo in a couple turns. So that does not make me happy. So I guess I evolve here. This is just lousy. I'm Marnie, and I hope. I'm not sure if I should have evolved or not. I could have used the first attack potentially, but I think I just want to let my... I can get 1 in the discard pile. I don't think... Whoop, no. This guy first. Get the Archeops in the discard. I think... what do I want to get for a Pokemon? Though I might want to get another Lumineon in hand for next turn. I think that's the best play for me because I need to. That'll give me access to a supporter next turn, and I think I'm just going to attach Powerful Energy to my Lugia. If my Lugia V-STAR is knocked out, I just lose essentially. So I'll do that. I could bench the Radiant Charizard, but no, there's no reason to. I will. Yeah, I don't think accelerating 1 Archeops is going to be enough. That's some of the decisions I've got to get better at with the deck. When is it worth getting 1 Archeops into play? When do I need to wait to get 2 into play? This is a powerful deck. There's certainly a risk that they're going to one-shot my Lugia V-STAR. Their damage will be what they need now. So they will knock out my V-STAR. I'm pretty certain. All right, just switching into Crobat to thin their deck, I guess, or just giving their Crobat up as a sacrifice. I assume they can attack then, because otherwise why would they promote him to be active? All right, they're just hitting with the first attack, and then they can switch. All right, well, that's not bad at all. So, all right, I'm liking it. So I will grab an Archeops. Let me just look here. I should have research, right? I want to research this turn. Yes, I have research. I will... All right, I'm going to bench Lumineon. Take some damage. It's all right. I will get my research. I will want to attack with... I want to have Radiant Charizard to attack with also, I'm pretty sure. he can knock out any of the Vs. That's quite useful. I will attach Powerful to my Lugia, I guess. I don't remember the numbers here. The problem is, or a problem. 120, 30, 40. I could take out the card with Lumineon, but I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, in which case, the play then would have been to... All right, so it's a lot of special energies I hit, but that's the way it goes there. All right, 2 Archeops on the bench. They're going to take out my Lugia. That's the downside of me, which is why, let's see, right now I'm doing a lot of damage, right? I'm overkill on it, so I think, do I have a DTE? I'll just put a DTE on him. Yes. I throw the DTE there. I'll retreat. I assume my Lugia is knocked out. And they conceded. So that went well. So honestly, I wasn't confident that I was going to win that game. I obviously was going to take out their active, the Crobat, but I think, I mean, I guess they weren't hitting good hard cards. They didn't evolve to their V-Star, so that hurt them. But, you know, if they could have top-decked and gotten their V-Star and knocked, you know, once they got their V-Star set up with energy on it, they can one-shot me very easily. So it was I was still nervous about things. Perhaps they couldn't have gotten there. I'm not sure. I don't remember the exact situation with the V-Star, what the energy count is, quite frankly. So that's part of my problem too. They might not have been able to do it next turn, in which case they were concerned what was going to happen. But you know, it was certainly, I certainly wasn't guaranteed to win at that point. So I'm getting better. 2 games in a row. You know, I'm going to keep working with this deck is what I'll say. And I may post some more videos on it as I try to get better decision-making myself and try to let you see what are good decisions or what possibly may not be good decisions too. And if you've watched through the video, have thoughts on my decisions, my plays, you know, just feel free to comment below. I'm looking for feedback, looking to improve the game. Take care.